Now the LEDs have arrived. Quite excited about this. It was going to be, I was going to sort of do that a bit further on down the line just to sharpen things up, but and as I mentioned, just not go overboard on it. But then it's an easy sort of quick thing, and I've noticed that I've got a number plate light out, I've got a side light out, and I've got a tail light out. So I thought, well, let's get these ordered. And then when I started looking at it and what the different, the lights were working a bit of a different way to what I thought. I didn't realise the brake lights were actually LEDs already in the back. I thought they were part of the dual filament, which was in there for the fog. Which is actually there for the dual filament tail light. And what I thought was a brake light is actually the fog light as well. So I thought, well, if I'm going to get LED tail lights, I've got to do the fog light. And do you know what? The reversing lights, we may as well get one of those as well. So these things are bumping up a little bit, justifying it to myself. I think absolutely correctly. And then also I was thinking about this little bit of a battery drain. I mean, I know these cars do have quite a high load on them anyway, like naturally. There's a lot of demand on electrics. I think actually just a new battery is probably going to sort it out. But even so, I've noticed that when you open the door in that thing, you've got 2 cabin lights come on. You've got 2 lights in each rear door, 2 lights in the front doors. You've got some lights under the dashboard. So there's quite a lot of drain just on that. And if you've left it like a week or two, which it's probably still not going to get a massive amount of use, this car, so it might just one day be the difference between starting it and not starting it. So that's given me the justification to go ahead and get LEDs for the interior as well. So let's have a look at what's coming from the shop. So here we are with a comprehensive set of LEDs from this place, Classic Car LEDs. This is where I got all the stuff for my Triumph Stag from, when I completely redid all those. And if you're wanting to do this to your L322, then this sheet here is basically going to tell you what you need, and this is covering everything apart from front fogs and front main beams and dips, just because they're sort of like quite the much more pricey bulbs. So these are good guys. They give pretty good products. As you can see here, I've got an array of them sort of like splashed about. I've been into these packets already. These ones, looking at it, they're going to be the reversing light. I'm not actually sure if that's the right size, but everything else looks about right. These are going to be the indicators, front and backs. This is the alone tail light, and then we've got the dual filament ones. So this is going to do fog and tail. I got one of these for my Triumph Stag. I wanted to improve the brake lighting, and one thing that they did was they did a dual filament. Basically, you can convert your reversing light to a brake light as well. So you have to do a tiny bit of wiring, but it was really good because the brake lights on a Triumph Stag aren't fantastic. But this just enables you to boost them up, so you're using your reversing lights as brake lights as well. But also when you want to reverse, they're clear, so it's fantastic. And the interior lights, these look quite exciting. Well, if you can get excited about LED bulbs, which clearly I can. These are going to be the side repeaters, side repeating indicators. These are going in the dome lights and side of the doors. They're basically replacements for side light style things. And in the boot, we're going to have some big light in the boot. This is going to be pumped up from standard. You've got like a heatsink on this one. That's the main one for the trunk. That's a bit of an Americanism there, which I hate, so I don't know why I said that. I'm going to punch myself in the face for doing that. No disrespect to Americans, we'll see, they're lovely people. And these are for the upper tailgate, so they're quite bright. So that's hopefully going to flood that area, which is, you can have enough light in the boot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a daytime nighttime comparison. I'm going to put them in on one side of the car, so we can have a look, see what the difference is, and put them in on the do like a before and the after of the interior at night, obviously, just so you can see what the difference is. But it looks like that they're still going to dim, apparently, these on the interior lighting. So that was something that I didn't really want to lose, but apparently they will dim. So yeah, all looking good. I'll do the comparisons. So from the rear, I've got the LEDs in the left-hand side. You can see it's a definite. It's brighter, much brighter and crisper on that left. I've also got the left-hand side tail light on, which obviously I'll do the dark version in a minute, and you'll be able to see a comparison. I'll have the boot shut, so it'll be a bit clearer. But yeah, that's it from the back. It looks much better. Tail lights are actually, the tail light on the left is out. I've had some complications with the tail lights, which I'm going to have to look into. The tail and fog combination as an LED replacement bulb isn't working, so I'm going to have to look at another way to resolve that one. But indicators wise, from the back, I think it looks great. And as if by magic, we've gone to night time. You can see from the back, again, much more definite and pronounced. Obviously we've got the tail light out, and I haven't put the tail lights to LEDs. You can tell the difference on the number plate as well on the left hand side. It's actually so bright, it doesn't come out that well on the video, so I'm just going to stick a bit more light on. I'm not sure if that changes it or not, but so from the front, again, definitely clearer on the indicators, much sharper. Although the side light does look a bit, in a way, there's sort of a, you don't quite notice it as much. Difficult to see the side repeater there because it's in the sunlight, but the side light, well, it's very much bluer, real blue-white. Still think it looks better. That's it from the front. Right, so that looks clearly much brighter on the right hand side. So I'm looking at this video, and I think that that side light does look much more impressive as an LED version than the standard. So yeah, I think that's quite good from that angle. So we've got inside the car here with the standard interior lights, which I will let them dim. Now this is with the warm white LEDs. I have also done it with the standard sort of LEDs, which is the next video on, but I've actually decided warm white is the way to go. Not much difference. I think they are brighter. I do think they are brighter compared to the last clip, but just a bit warmer. Inside then, with LEDs, much better light coverage. Wait for that to dim. Let's see, we've got the non-LED. And with LED, a clear winner there. Right, it's been a while since I last did an update. Just been so busy with other things which are not car related, but I've made quite a bit of progress on the Land Rover. So hopefully I'll be putting a few videos up soon to cover it all. But I finished the LEDs. I know what I'm doing with that now. There was a note at the beginning of this video saying that there's some things to note with the types of LEDs that I've used. One thing I've done that I either show after this clip or I'll try and put the photos in, but the front side lights, I decided I didn't like they just looked a bit too blue, and when you look at them with the headlights and the full beams, the colour just looked wrong. So unless I was going to replace the whole lot, which I'm just not going to do, I felt it was just better to keep them standard. But I've changed them for LEDs, and I've changed them for very slightly brighter warm white side lights, so I think they look good. So they're the ones that I've now gone with. The interior lights, as I said, they're all like a standard replacement LED bulb, but I've gone for warm white again because it just looked a bit too cold inside. It was bright, better output of light, I suppose, but the warm whites are still brighter, and they all work with the dimming, so that's all good. But yeah, I've gone for the warm whites and all the door bulbs as well. So the boot I'm really impressed with. That is massively better, really bright, and that's with clear light, clear, whatever you call it, the standard sort of LED light type. So that works really well for the boot because you want to be able to see what's going on there. The number plate lights, I couldn't decide. I ended up buying both. I don't know, I might change my mind, but I think at the moment I've got the sort of the bright white in the number plate illumination, which looks good. The reversing lights I had to send back. So the big issues I've had with the LEDs have been the reversing lights that have the ones I was sent were too big. Again, the picture of these coming up, but they're quite small, and it's like an offset bayonet fitting. They're not opposite each other. So I had to get some new ones of those, and they're brighter than the ones on the car. So it's really good now for the reversing. So that's good. I wanted to do the side light, the tail lights and brake lights, but there's just some really odd way that the voltages work in this car, and I was scratching my head for ages trying to work out why it wouldn't work. But the replacement bulbs I got were LED style, and it just wasn't having it. They weren't working, and then I've looked into it, and there's more info out there online now that I know this. But there's a weird way that you've got for the stop tail lights. You've got on its own. You've got I think this is the way it works. You've got a single filament bulb on its own that does the bottom half of one of the circles, and then above it you've got a dual filament bulb, which you would think would be the side light and the brake light, and
but it's not. For some reason, you've got 3 filaments there in total for that bottom circle, that bottom red circle at the back, if you think of it like that, and you've got 3 filaments within it. One of them, when you come to breaking, all it does is it brightens the filament. It doesn't use another filament. So one of the filaments is actually not in the dual filament bulb. One of them is just not even, it doesn't even work. It doesn't even function. So I don't know how that works. So I've basically just left that as it is. So they're normal. It was just, there's a way to do it. You can put, I don't know, resistors in it, or it was just too involved. I just want to simply plug it in and go. So I've not changed those. So I've basically only changed. I've changed all the indicators all round. Side repeaters, they're really good. The interior lights, side lights. Yeah, so I'm really happy with the LEDs as I've done it. Well worth an upgrade. I don't know what it's cost me in the end. I was going to bring out the full list, but I ended up sending things backwards and forwards, and I haven't got a definitive list. But classic car LEDs, if you phone them up, everything is pretty much a straight swap. They just weren't aware of the differences with the reverse lights, so just get one out and describe the type of filament to them. The rear boot lights, they are the only ones that are brighter. One of them's got a heatsink on the back of it, as I think I've already mentioned. So that the boot lighting area is basically an upgraded brightness for the boot and for the actual upper tailgate that shine down. So they're the ones that are sort of upgraded. Everything else is a fairly standard replacement LED bulb. It's just a case of whether you decide to go for clear white or warm white. And the same for your side lights at the front. So that's it. LED's done. Well happy with it. And next I'll be getting on with the updates of the paintwork's been done. Well, not completely, but I've done a 3-stage polish on it, so we'll be having a look at that. I've had the welding done. I've not got the paintwork done on top of it yet, but we'll have an update on that. Wheels, I'm waiting for, I need to get a new alloy wheel and some new tyres. But yeah, all in all, it's looking good. It's running well. It's been serviced. I've done the gearbox flush, so there'll be more on that, more on the engine service. Had a bit of a issue with the glow plugs. But yeah, those updates hopefully coming up very soon. See you soon.